Dak Prescott wasn't supposed to throw, but he kind of did. Cowboys weren't supposed to fight. They kind of did. Nobody was supposed to get hurt. They kind of did, but hopefully things will work out. Mike Fisher reporting from Oxnard, camping with the Cowboys, with you on a Sunday as we review the Saturday joint practice with the Rams. Big, gigantic notebook. So pull up a comfortable chair like I've got here in Oxnard and hear all about it. Dak throws. Dak Prescott's return to throwing was supposed to remain on the shutdown for a little bit more. I think the Texas Rangers' advice was shut it down. Cowboys are instead having him ramp up ever so slightly. And if you follow the Fish report here, you see the exclusive of Dak's most important throw of the day, the throw to a fan and his dad. And Dak ran right over to where I happen to be standing. And so we got a great shot, including the dialogue. Of course, Dad says, can you sign it? Yeah, Dad, I'm out here at practice, but I've absolutely got a Marks-a-Lot in my pants. Dak says, no, COVID, I can't come over and do any more. This is it. I'm 5 feet away from you, and I'm going to throw the ball this way. Dak did have a couple other soft tosses, and then Mike McCarthy said later, yeah, he's going to start throwing a little bit. I don't think we're going to see Dak Prescott at Arizona on Friday. I'll be there, of course. And because the practices this week in Oxnard are so limited now, I think they'll probably keep that under wraps. They are moving, I believe, the Tuesday practice. They're turning it into one of McCarthy's mock games. And so the mock game normally is not open to the media, but Tuesday is supposed to be Military Appreciation Day or something here in Oxnard with fans there. So we'll keep you posted. We'll figure it out. McCarthy quote, he's making a lot of progress on Dak. Staying back from the trip to Canton allowed him to get some extra treatment, do some extra things. Once again, McCarthy saying this is more us being in a position to take caution than it is about Dak. I feel really good about where he is. So you've got everybody with their different level of concerns. I think you know mine. I think if you rest a strained muscle in your back, in a big muscle, if you rest a strain, it heals itself. Period. In a short time. That's just a medical fact. So give it a little time, and I think it'll be fine. If it's a disaster, you'll be the third to know. Prescott hasn't really thrown in practice since feeling that soreness, of course, back on July 28th. Was originally going to just work on the footwork, but he moved a little beyond that. What about throwing the ball? Here's the quote from McCarthy. We'll see how the progression goes. But even when he does get there, he's going to be on a pitch count. Now, McCarthy called it a rep count, but since we're involving the Texas Rangers in this thing, I'm going to go with pitch count. Thank you. Lamb stars, Amari sits, and an Amari scoop. CeeDee Lamb does this every day. And he did it every day in OTAs. He did it every day in minicamp. He's done it every day out here. There is a play or two where you go, whoa, every day. And some Cowboy cynics were looking at that and saying, well, yeah, that's because he's going against the Cowboys' crappy defense. On Saturday, he went against the Rams defense, and he did it again. Just a couple of standout wows. 2,400 people, I believe, biggest crowd of the summer, were here at the practice field to watch, and 2,400 people oohs and ahs, including a bunch of Rams fans who were going, wow, look at that thing. And he was doing it again against Rams defensive players and good ones. McCarthy, I don't think a day's gone by when he hadn't done something like that, and it's absolutely right. And again, not just in this camp, but dating all the way back to minicamp and OTAs. Meanwhile, and I'll do a separate video on this so we can break it down a little bit. So the Amari Cooper thing, McCarthy said, a couple days. I think McCarthy just says a couple days now as a matter of rote, because Amari Cooper sat down with KNC Masterpiece of 105.3 The Fan and said, yeah, a couple of weeks. diddly diddly dink. Couple of weeks. I thought it was a couple days. No. He says he's in communication with the trainers and that this is the wisest thing. I just don't think Amari wants to re-injure it. I don't think, and again, it's the ankle surgery. I don't think he wants to injure anything else. I think he realizes that as long as he's good conditioning-wise, he can probably show up on a Sunday and catch 5 passes for 75 balls and a touchdown. And he's right. So it might rub some people the wrong way, but he's not 100% right, so he's not going to go yet. A couple days ago, he said he was close to 100, but close to 100 ain't 100. And I think Amari wants to be a hundy. Fight, fight, fight. No, not the Jason Garrett t-shirts. That, by the way, he's taken up to New York, and they've taken very literally with the Giants. Aaron Donald is a superstar defensive tackle. He might be the best player in football, really. I think Troy Aikman recently called him the best defensive player he's ever seen, which is saying something quite. Connor Williams, you got to give him credit. He stood up to Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald didn't like being blocked by Connor Williams, who was successful against him. So face mask got grabbed, and Connor Williams held his own against the baddest man in the sport. I know we're not supposed to fight, but I must tell you privately, Cowboy players are going, yeah. In fact, Zach Martin said it publicly. He said, we're not going to start the fight, but we're going to stand up to you. We're not going to stand for that. And so the Cowboys win with Connor Williams leading the win. Connor Williams, by the way, also played a little bit of center. This is going to come down to, it's the old, I'm seeing ESPN talk about this now, and good. But this is a Tony Wise concept. This is a Cowboy concept from 30 years ago. Best 5. Is Connor Williams one of the best 5? Yes. Is it at guard or center? We got a couple weeks to find out. Is Connor McGovern a better player than Tyler Biadasz? They need to find that out too. And they're giving everybody involved an opportunity to find that out. I don't think this team has a swing tackle that they're extremely comfortable with right now. That might be as big a question as anything in the offensive line. Fight Club, we have the rules of Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club for Mike McCarthy is don't fight. Everybody violated that. It happened again. Tony Pollard got tangled up, and he wouldn't stand for it. Rams coach Sean McVay says, we didn't hurt anything. We got everything done. It is funny, though, when there was a fight, Sean McVay would go hold back or get in the way of the Cowboy player. Coach, maybe you should go stop your own guy. Injury update. We're giving you the Amari news. Cooper Rush has a shoulder. Couple of days, says McCarthy, which now we know. McCarthy, a couple of days means either I don't know or I'm not going to tell you. Also, Terrell Basham, ankle, not serious. We're checking on the ankle of Sir Neville Gallimore, hoping for the same thing. Miscellaneous. DFW product Matthew Stafford has that bum thumb, but he looked fine. They think he's the final piece of the Super Bowl for the Rams. Zeke, who's got a dog lawsuit, $1 million issue, by the way, on the side. Zeke turning the corner with frequency. And again, you can say, well, he's turned the corner against the Cowboys. Maybe they're not totally trying to shut it down, or maybe they're going 3/4 speed, or maybe they're not very good. He did it against the Rams. Turned the corner. Impressive stuff. Maurice Kennedy. I did not have him on my 53 a month ago. Did you? We might have to start putting him there now. The cornerback keeps making plays every day. Garrett Gilbert had a solid day of practice, according to the coaches. Michael Gallup was really good in the red zone. Dalton Schultz had a personal day off. Quote from McCarthy on the good work they got done here, and I want you to think about this. It's a safer environment than playing in a preseason game, and you can get a lot done. If somebody would like to explain this to the league's owners and the Players Association, that we could do a scrimmage, or not a scrimmage, we can do not even a scrimmage, a joint practice, and maybe get more done, especially relative to the risk reward of injuries, than we can in a preseason game. You'll notice in the preseason game, starters didn't play much. In this thing, 70% of the time, it was the first team guys doing all the work. Tyron Smith and Zach Martin held back out of some drills, but even those two guys were involved. And Matthew Stafford involved. Matthew Stafford's never going to play in a preseason game for the Rams as long as Sean McVay's the coach, he says. But in a controlled joint practice, he can get all his work done. It's a better idea, NFL. And you know what? If you want to do it in front of fans and charge them, fine. Because you want the money, fine. Fans will pay. That's fine. But you can save yourself a lot of injury problems and a lot of boredom problems and a lot of fake-out problems by just having joint practices instead of preseason games. Oh, Fish, we got to have a preseason. Coaches used to say we needed 4 and 5 preseason games. Now they're starting to realize, oh, no, we need 3. What happened to 4 and 5? How about 1? How many preseason games do they play in high school? Those guys are 16. They don't need any. How many preseason games does a college team play? Those guys are 19. 0. So if you don't need a preseason game when you're 15 and you don't need a preseason game when you're 19, why do you need a preseason game when you're 28? And the final word. Listen, we're not out there trying to start fights, but we're also not going to sit there and get pushed around. My understanding is something happened, and we're not going to take it. That's Zach Martin, bad man, representing the Cowboys in voice the way Connor Williams did against Aaron Donald and the Rams in body. In Oxnard, Fish, out.